2 men deep for the Blue Devils as they are to the south end zone here.
I think if I was the Fort Lupton coach, I'd come out and try and open up the offense, maybe try some play action pass, maybe pitch the ball to Merritt and have him throw, since he's thrown quite a few balls for him earlier in the season.
Frick has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. This second half kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, offers home, health, auto, farm, business, and workers' compensation insurance. There's 12 minutes on the clock, 6-0 the score in favor of the Mustangs here as we're about ready to get underway for the second half. Frick approaches the football and kicks it away, a low line drive kick that will skip off a Fort Lupton up man. He'll pick it up at the 20 and it will get to the 30-yard line. That time, Brandon Sandoval, I believe, comes up. He's an up man that was standing at the 20. It bounced off of his leg, and he did the smart thing and picked it up and ran with it. Gets the ball to the 30. And 6 seconds have ticked away. 11:54 on the clock for Fort Lupton's opening possession here on the second half.
Decent starting position for Fort Lupton. Again, they've got to get something going if they're going to stay in this game. Fort Morgan's got to try and get a 3-and-out, get the ball back, and score on this first drive.
9 men in the box now as Yuli Hernandez finally drops out. Figueroa gets the carry, tries to get around the edge on the far side. He is unable to do so, and I think he'll be tackled for a loss that time. Yes, he will be. So Fort Lupton going in the wrong direction. Call it a loss of 1 and a 2nd and 11 play coming up.
Well, Fort Morgan's defense is fired up. They're coming across the line, and that bodes well for the offense. They'll get the ball in decent field position. Really
no man deep for Fort Morgan is the tight formation for Fort Lupton. They have a man spread each direction, 2 men in the backfield. Boyd still under center will give the ball to LaRoche, who dances around a little bit, and he'll be wrapped up there. Jose Miranda with the tackle. Gets back to the initial line of scrimmage and just past it for a 3rd and long play from the 31-yard line, needing the 41 for the first down are the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Fort Morgan making some substitutions, probably going into a nickel package, anticipating Boyd throwing again. But at 0 for 9, I think they'd be just as good running.
We'll see what Jeff Priestley, the head coach for Fort Lupton, has dialed up here on 3rd and 9. The play action passes. Boyd drops back to pass, has 2 men over the middle. It is tipped and knocked down. Cody Davis gets a hand on it, and I think more than anything, he tipped it away from his own man who had a read on the ball. I think Fitzsimmons back there trying to make a play on it, but Cody Davis tips it. It falls incomplete, and now we'll see a 4th down play and the punting unit come on for Fort Lupton.
Let's hope Fort Morgan's punt return team's a little more disciplined this time and doesn't give them a penalty and give Fort Lupton another 3 downs.
Yuli Hernandez back at his own 35-yard line. The kick is to the far sideline from Hansen. It'll bounce at the 40 and die there. Bounced a little bit backwards. 41, so we'll call that a punt of a little under 30 yards that time. Fort Morgan has great field position for their first possession in this second half.
Yeah, in the game of field position, Fort Morgan won that exchange, getting the ball all the way out at their own 42. A nice 58-yard drive is all they're going to need. It'll be interesting to see what sort of play selection they go with.
Martin's under center. Will give the ball to Godo, the fullback, and he crosses the 45, crosses the 50, finally dragged down as he gets into Fort Lupton territory across the 45. And the officials will spot him at the 44-yard line, so a big gain that time on first down.
It kind of reminds me of that first drive where Fort Morgan came out with all the momentum and they just came off the line and pounded it to Fort Lupton. And then when we got into that messy second quarter, end of first quarter, the linemen just stopped firing out and really weren't doing their jobs.
10:05 on the clock. Ball spotted at, we'll call it the 45-yard line. Godo again gets the carry. He's running hard through the right side. He gets across the 45, breaks a tackle to the 30, 25, 20, has to break 2 more tackles. Finally brought down at the 10-yard line. A big run that time of 35 yards from Matt Godo, who's been the horse here. 2 plays, 2 first downs, and he's got Mustangs in business just shy of the 10-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, really nice run there. Once he got in the open field, accelerated past a few defenders. Fort Lupton just playing on their heels. They're probably going to fold this second half, and Fort Morgan's going to have a good homecoming dance tomorrow.
We'll call this, hopefully you didn't speak too soon there, Kevin. We'll call this an 11 at the 11-yard, so can get the first down at the 1. Alexander gets a give. He bounces outside, dives across the 5-yard line, will be brought down at the 4. As Alexander, a nice little change of pace from Godo. We'll see a little bit more big bodies come in now for the Mustangs as Alexander and Pineda run off. And Godo and another blocking back come in for the Mustangs.
You're right on that, Alex. That I don't mean to jinx the Mustangs, but I just sense that they've come to play, and Chisholm always has them play a much better second half.
2nd and 2 from the 4-yard line. Godo gets the give. He'll run between guard and tackle right at the goal line. We'll see where the officials spot him. He has enough for the first down, but not enough for the touchdown. He found the 1-yard gap there between the first down marker and the goal line.
It's nice to have 1st and goal from the 1 on your first drive of the half. Let's hope they don't have a penalty or anything that makes this a bad situation. I'd anticipate Martin sneaking up off the center.
Oh, he might give the ball back to Godo. He is in there. Ooh, big, heavy backfield for the Mustangs. Martins does keep it himself. He dives across, and he's in for the score. James Martins with the 1-yard scamper for the touchdown. That puts the Mustangs up 12-0. 8:47 on the clock here in the second half.
Yeah, that quarterback sneak has just always worked for 2 or 3 yards most of the season. I think there's only one team that was able to stop that. Possibly Fort Lupton didn't scout that play, and now we got the swinging gate again.
This time Martins will get the direct snap, and he will bowl over a couple defenders, and he picks up 2 points. So it's like it never happened the first one, like 2 PATs happened. Martins gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. The cannon goes off, and it's 14-0 here at Legion Field. Some more fireworks going off in the background as well. We'll step aside. 14-0, the Mustangs lead with 8:47 left to play in the third quarter. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs need just 5 plays to go 58 yards in a little over 2.5 minutes to put themselves up 14-0 here at Legion Field at homecoming. Frick has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. He approaches it and kicks it away. High end over end kick that'll bounce at the 15 and roll out of bounds. The procedure call will cost them there. But nevertheless, the Mustangs, as they did in the first half, are able to convert on their first possession.
Now let's see if that defense can hold Fort Lupton to 3 and out, and we can see Fort Lupton's defense start to wear out as the Mustangs just pound it to them and play a little smash mouth football.
So the ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line with the procedure penalty, the kick out of bounds penalty. The officials don't realize that I'm writing this stuff down in pen, and they elect to take the penalty. So we'll move the kickoff back 5 yards, and we'll do it all again.
Interesting decision. I'm not sure exactly where in high school football you get the ball when it's kicked out of bounds, but it's, in college and the pros, it's so far forward that you really don't think of not taking the penalty.
Now they won't take the penalty, will Fort Lupton.
So we're not
Shades
the only
of last week right here, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah. We're not the only ones that are confused.
A little bit
the
of
officials and the Fort Lupton sideline, I think, are both not sure on that.
And my writing and pen did hold true. 35-yard line is where they'll spot the football. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. Boyd still in the game at quarterback. Spreads a man each direction. 2 men in the backfield. Now a man comes in motion. That's Hansen. Boyd looking to pass. He'll roll out to this near side, looking to pass down the middle of the field. Has his man, and it's caught. Big gainer that time. Across the 45-yard line of Fort Morgan territory. That is Jalen Vasquez, the sophomore, with the reception. So,
yeah, nice pass, and surprisingly, Boyd on that one was right on target. Hit Vasquez right in the numbers.
We'll call it a gain of 21, as now Fort Lupton is in a good spot. The referee blows this play dead before Fort Lupton can get the play off. It looks like we're going to have an issue with the clock. I'm not sure. He's walking over to now he's going to talk to Harrison Chisholm.
Oh,
I'm not sure what's going on here, but the man in the white hat is looking. And the clock is running now. Not sure why. Whatever the confusion was, see, this is shades of last week. A little bit of confusion on the officials' part, a little bit of confusion on the clock. Eerily similar, but hopefully we won't have it to the degree. Boyd will turn and hand it off to Lennox, or check that Fern in the backfield. He'll plunge between guard and tackle on the far side, that right side of the line. Get to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 5. It'll be a 2nd and 5 play.
Well, that pass play kind of got Fort Morgan's defense on their heels. They've got to reestablish their control of the line of scrimmage and take it to them.
The spot of the football that last time was the 45-yard line, so the pass play did go for 30 yards. I correct myself there from Boyd. He'll get the snap again this time, keep it himself, goes through the right side between guard and tackle, and is able to pick up the first down. Patient running that time from Zach Boyd as he kind of just let his blockers open up some holes for him, but he's able to get the first down. The ball just shy of the 30-yard line.
He's up a little ginger and kind of stretching out a little bit. Maybe he got dinged on that, holding his hand. Although he's their best runner by far.
Coming into the game, nobody was even close to the number of yards that he had. The next closest I take that back. Jordan LaRoche had 457, so the second best runner on the team, but your quarterback, that's pretty productive. The pitch will go this time to the deep man for Fort Lupton. He'll go around the right side. Logan Fern on the carry. He's getting extensive action now. Coming into the game, Logan Fern, 17 carries.
And so far today, that was his 11th carry.
So going over his 9-carry output from last week, and we'll have an officials timeout now. And we'll have the officials start the clock back up. A second down play here as the ball spotted at the 27-yard line. After Boyd picked up 3 on that run, or check that, Fern picked up 3. The give again will go to Fern. He'll try to come to this near side, and he'll be wrapped up immediately. Guess who on the tackle? Jose Miranda, the first one there.
Yeah, that was a good defensive play. They read that. Looked like they were going to pass and had 3 receivers off to the left. And the Fort Morgan line made their run, reads by how the offensive line blocked and stopped them for no gain.
3rd and 7 coming up here. We'll see if the Fort Morgan defense can hold after the offense has spotted them 8 points here in this third quarter to push the lead to 14-0. Boyd in the shotgun looks to pass to the far side, has a man. It is finally hauled in, and the man will be dragged down by Pineda. The receiver, as I'm trying to get a look at the number, looks like Marcus Lennox on the reception. The junior comes down with a big play, and it's a 1st and goal situation now for Fort Lupton from the 7-yard line. So a 20-yard pass play that time from Boyd to Lennox. After seeing Boyd go 0 for in the first half on passing, he's got 2 20-yard pass plays, 20-plus yard pass plays here in this third quarter, this second possession of the third quarter. Now we'll see a flag come from the official. It's like an illegal substitution, so move the Blue Devils back 5 yards. It'll still be 1st and goal, but it will be from outside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, just what Fort Lupton didn't need to finally have some positive things going and then end up with 1st and goal from the 12 instead of the 7.
Clock ticks under 5 minutes here in the third quarter as Fort Lupton looking to score here for the first time in the red zone. The give goes to
65.
Ryan Roush. He's usually, see, this is where you love high school football. He's listed as a running back, offensive lineman, linebacker. 3 very diverse positions. But when you're 6'5", 230, you can play pretty much anywhere that they put you if you can run a little bit.
Shades of Refrigerator Perry.
Hard to bring you down, that's true. He gets the ball inside the 10, and now Boyd will go to work again under center. Give will go to the deep back, and he'll be wrapped up by Cody Davis. The back on the carry that time is Jordan LaRoche. And now we'll have a timeout on the field. Fort Lupton will take a timeout as they discuss this 3rd and goal play. So timeout here in the third quarter. 4:01 shows 14-0, the lead for the Mustangs. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. Fort Lupton threatening here as they're at 3rd and goal on the 9-yard line. They're looking to get on the board for the first time here this evening. It's homecoming here at Fort Morgan. The fans have stuck around. They've been entertained with a good game. 4:01 on the clock, 14-0 the score. Boyd in the shotgun looking to pass. He looks to the far side. The pass is up, caught, and a touchdown for the Devils. A flag comes out late. That time, Jalen Vasquez using all of his 6-foot frame over the shorter defensive back for Fort Morgan. The flag comes out, though, late. We'll see what it is. Fort Lupton trotting off the field as if they've scored, so we'll probably go against the Mustangs.
Yeah, the officials are not very quick to tell us what the penalty is.
Still no decision. I haven't seen one yet. The official has hidden himself between the players, not making himself viewable here to the press box. Now he steps out. It's going to be illegal use of the hands. I think it'll be assessed on the kickoff. The touchdown is good, so we'll count the pass play. Boyd to Vasquez, and now we'll see Hansen on to kick the PAT. It is up, and it is true. So 14-7 the score here, with 3:54 showing on the clock as Fort Lupton finds itself on the board for the first time. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. Mustang football brought to you by Premier Farm Credit, committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. Fort Lupton will switch the field now as they'll be moving from left to right. They're at the 19-yard line, looking to score on back-to-back possessions after not scoring any in the first half. Boyd under center, one-man spread each direction. He'll turn and give the ball off to Fern. The deep back will be met as he goes through the middle of the line. That time Garrett Strobel with the stop.
Fern definitely the workhorse for Fort Lupton. He's carried the ball 14 times on the night.
They'll give him a gain of a yard on that carry, and from the 18-yard line, we'll have a 2nd and 9. Ball spotted near hash. We're in the fourth quarter, 11:32 and counting on the clock. The Mustangs holding on to that 7-point lead. We'll see how long it lasts. Boyd under center. Will drop back. 5-step drop, looking to pass. Throws it up over the head and almost has it intercepted in the end zone. Fitzsimmons on the coverage, looking for his second pick of the night.
Not a really good decision to throw that. The receiver wasn't open, and he was lucky to get away without an interception. Looked more like his first half passing than we've seen so far this half.
Severely underthrown. Really didn't give his receiver a chance at that, but you give him credit. He stepped up, hung in the pocket that was created for him, and he stepped up, and it kind of seemed like it came out of his hand almost over the top, like he was throwing it like an odd reference here, a high-lie ball, if you've ever seen that. False start that time as the tight end, Dallas Hansen for the Blue Devils, tried to get off and start his route early. So that'll work in the favor of Fort Morgan.
Absolutely. The Blue Devil coaching staff has just got to be livid over there. You know, here they have their team in a game where they're one score away. They're down on the 18, and now it's 3rd and, 14, 15? Very tough circumstances for the Blue Devils.
It will be a 3rd and 14. That pushes them outside of the 20. Back to the 22-yard line. Check that 23-yard line. Boyd under center. Man spread to this near side. It looks like we'll have a reverse, and there's Jeff Merritt who will pitch it back to Boyd. But the coverage still there for Fort Morgan, and Franco almost comes down with it again. Well, that was an interesting play there, Kevin, as Fern, the running back, got it initially, ran the reverse back to Merritt, who is listed as the other quarterback. He then pitched it back to Boyd, who looked towards the far sideline, towards the end zone, but a good job of staying home that time by Franco, and he almost comes down with the interception, and it brings up a 4th and 14.
Yeah, they had everybody fooled but the 3 defensive backs for Fort Morgan who were downfield in coverage. Well-disciplined play there.
We'll see Fort Lupton elect to go for it here. Boyd will step up, and he's got room to run. He gets across the 15 to the 10 to the 5, and he is in for the score. So a 4th and 14 play from the 23-yard line turns into 6 points for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, you always want to coach one of your defensive linemen to stay back and watch for the draw and kind of, spy on the quarterback or any of the running backs. And that time all the Fort Morgan rushers went outside and left him a big opening up the middle.
Hansen in to attempt the PAT. 14-13 the score pending the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. So we're all knotted up here at Legion Field with just 10:52 left to play in the homecoming game here for Fort Morgan. We'll step aside. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com.